Welcome back to your show Identities Umhlobo, where today I'm joined in the studio by Ambassador Calltorp, where we're talking about 16 days of activism, but mainly focusing on women. Ambassador, before we went, you were talking about the role of governments, the role that can be done, but we want to dive in a little bit later into that. But in our last segment, Ambassador, there are young women who are watching you. There are little girls who are watching you. There are also men who are watching you. What is your word, especially to the young girl, to the young woman who is watching you, who is interested in rising up and becoming a leader?
I would, to those young girls and women watching the show, I would say that they should never stop believing in themselves and to take the support they need, first of all, of course, within the family. It all starts in the family, and that's where I think the men and the fathers have such an important task to do in supporting their daughters to grow up and become leaders. Of course, the government has a huge responsibility to set the policies and showcase good examples, but more importantly to walk the talk and make sure that those policies are actually implemented and that people throughout the country are actually taking action on those policies. So there's a lot of things to do, but having met so many fantastic Zimbabwean women and girls and also men, I see a lot of great hopes for the future of these young girls in this country.
Thank you. So the girl who's watching you or the woman who's watching you feels like, okay, I've been married young. I have gone through abuse, or I'm stuck in a abusive relationship. What can they do to overcome the challenges that they're facing right now to be able to get where they want to get?
Sweden is supporting a helpline for young girls and boys who are being abused, and it's the telephone number is 116. It's very easy, and I've been visiting this call center. It's amazing to see the support that is given to young girls and boys and women in throughout this project. So do not hesitate to contact the call center to get very concrete, specific advice, and also someone that listens to you. There is always someone that can listen to you and that can understand your situation and give you specific advice on how to move forward.
Thank you very much. So that's practical ways of dealing with gender-based violence. If you're a girl or a young man or a woman who's facing some form of gender-based violence, you've heard about that intervention. But in terms of being battered and in terms of feeling defeated after having gone through this, is there hope for a woman who's in a hopeless situation right now?
I think there's always hope. What you need to do is that you need to find people that can support you and that can help you overcome that very difficult trauma and that difficult situation. So I would wish that everyone has a mother, an aunt, a father, a brother, someone that can listen to you and that can support you in overcome this very difficult situation. And if you feel that you don't have anyone, you can always call this number 116 and get some support.
Thank you very much for reiterating that the social capital or the social people around us can become the people to help us. And also there are many non-governmental organizations around our country, that our societies, that someone can go and get support, but also to really just empower. Self-empowerment is create some courage to say, you know what, I'm going to face the next day. But in terms of, we know that in our country and in Africa, power is still within men. The power to change, the power to promote women and girls, even as you mentioned in the family. What practical steps can men take to promote girls, to promote women in their households, even in the workplace, so that women can grow to become the leaders and reach their potential?
I think that men can do a lot of things, as you mentioned, in relation to their families, to their daughters, to their wives, to be those role models and support their daughters and wives and women around them to raise to the challenge and to assume leadership positions. I think that the government and sort of people in society at large can also do a lot in changing the cultural behavior to make it more acceptable for a woman, for example, to work and to be a leader, and also support that woman when it comes to household engagements, care of children, etc. I think there is a lot that can be done by men in supporting their women.
Thank you. And also maybe that what reminds me is that in the past election, there was a lot of women abuse and violence against women, even within political structures. What is the government of Sweden what has been your role in terms of maybe working with the political parties across, across political parties to make sure that women are respected and leaders are held accountable to their actions, to their statements?
This, I think, is a key challenge looking also ahead to the next election, to make sure that women are participating in political life on the same sort of equal footing as men. And what you raised in terms of abuse and violence against women who are sort of candidating for any political party is extremely serious, and it's an issue that I'm raising with everyone.
Nice.
Because it's of course completely unacceptable that a woman that is standing for elections or participating in political life should be subject to violence. And it's a great cultural shift, I think, that is needed within Zimbabwean political life to address those issues.
Thank you. Maybe your parting shots to the government of Zimbabwe, maybe, and whoever's watching as you end the show.
That the women of Zimbabwe are a prerequisite for any future development in this country, and the government, everyone should really see the need and the importance of involving each and every woman in the future journey of Zimbabwe.
Amazing. Viewers, I hope this has been so amazing for you as much as it's been for us here at Identities. A conversation with Ambassador Sofia Calltorp of the Sweden Embassy to Zimbabwe. And viewers, it's that time again where we get into your messages. But some of you have questions, and one or two of you are going to be answered by the ambassador. So stay with us. I'm just about to pull up your questions or your comments. So I have a question here. The viewer doesn't say their name. Ati kose vanhukadzi vachiekta mumafirimu vasina kupfeka zvakanaka. Ambassador, that's a question for you.
Throughout the world, there is the issue of sexism and of exploiting women in different ways, how they dress, how they act, and of course this is something that I think we need to change and to fight. It's very much a cultural issue on how to sort of people are portrayed and viewed. So of course, if the woman or the girl feel abused and exploited, it's something that we need to try to address and change the perceptions, both of the women, but in particular the men, of course.
Thank you very much. So you heard that it's a culture of sexism that objectifies girls and women. Another question says, vakomana vachidropa mabhurugwa. I think it's just exactly something that follows up to what has just been said. So the viewer is saying, vakomana vachidropa mabhurugwa, why do men drop their pants? It's the same thing. It's about choice in dressing, right? If they feel like kudropa mabhurugwa kwachoni ndokwavari kuda, vakadziwo vari kufunga kuti varume vanodropa mabhurugwa havasi right. So for those vanga vachifunga kuti varume chete ndimunoona kuti vakadzi vanodresa zvakanaka, nesuwo vakadzi titoona kuti varume hamusi kudresa zvakanaka, muri kudresa mabhurugwa enyu makadonhedza mabhurugwa. So again, I hope you understand that. Some people are not comfortable seeing you men makadropa mabhurugwa enyu, but at the end of the day, it's a choice, and that which has to be, resonating with you and the people around you, your community around you. But at the end of the day, it's about choice. And then the last one says, Sisinyari ndiri kuenjoya show yenyu from Marondera. Hana kutaura zita rake. Thank you Marondera for supporting the show. Viewers, until next time, stay with us, stay supporting Identities. You can find us on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter. Let's keep the conversations going. Until next week, bye for now.